cheating at this point has become so damn near impossible. I don't even understand how these guys do it.
Oh my God, please roll on this. I love this inability to cheat. It's so
impossible.
funny.
It's not a moral objection. It's how do you deal with the anxiety of cheating these days? You have everything. I guess younger people probably have figured out the technology. Are we rolling?
Yeah, let's
we can
roll.
talk.
Why not? Sorry, I was trying to have an off-camera conversation with Lewis. It got very awkward. We were having a conversation that wasn't being monetized. It got very weird really fast.
No, listen to me. If I'm going to speak and be clever, I made a joke. I was like, what am I doing?
You just did it for free.
Why did I make a fucking joke without being paid for it? That's crazy. Get those cameras on.
Bap, bap, bap.
Young people, I'm sure, have figured out technology more than I have. I'm 42 years old. So I'm still the guy who I have no idea. I don't know what the cloud is. I don't know if I take a picture, if it's gone, if I delete the picture, is it gone or is it still out there? I genuinely don't know. And I know, here's what I do know. It is maybe 6 seconds of research that I would have to do in order to find out the answer. I'm not even gonna do that. I'm complacent in being ignorant, and I would just rather not deal with the stress of lying and keeping lies in my life. I'm now single, so luckily I don't really have to worry about it. But just the idea of I was just talking about, this is crazy. This is a nutty thing, Whitney. Do you know this? I'm gonna help out all the gentlemen in the world right now. Every guy that's out there. This is nuts. Women probably know this, but guys don't know this. You have an iPhone, right?
Yes, but really quick, the only thing shadier than being like, I don't know if this goes in the cloud or not, and if I delete it, does it stay in the cloud? Whatever you do, don't Google in the cloud. Is this going to be in the cloud? That Google search is what's going to kill you in court.
I have no idea.
Have you seen what men that murder their wives, they show what they've Googled? There was a guy that killed his wife with pharmaceuticals, and he's like, how much Valium does it take to kill 120-pound woman? And they were like, well, now you have to go to jail. You just going, does something I deleted stay in the cloud?
By the way, me just saying that out loud right now is being picked up. It's over. We are so fucked at this point. But check this out. If you go into your text messages in your iPhone,
okay,
right? And this is honest people don't know this. Only shady people know this.
Oh, that you can delete a message that you already sent?
No, not to delete. Hit edit. Hit the top left-hand corner. Hit edit.
Okay.
And now it says show recently deleted at the bottom. You don't delete your text messages. Your deleted text messages stay in your fucking phone for 30 or 60 days.
Can I tell you something? I have this theory. The dorks that can't cheat are coming for the cool kids who can.
Yeah.
There's all these secret ways to find out if someone's cheating, and the tech dorks did this to try to get back at the jocks.
Yeah, the virgins.
Okay, I'm telling you, all the virgins, because also the way that I found a guy was cheating on me when I was in my 20s is I went to his photos and I went to trash.
Oh, and it was just in
the trash. And it was all in the trash.
All in the
trash was just all tits and yes, it was just one gynecological exam after another. Why would it be show deleted?
It's crazy. It's crazy. The fact.
And how did you even know that?
Because I was going through my phone, deleting all of my text messages, going back, deleting. And
why would you do that, Lewis? Why would you need to do that?
Because my ex found some questionable shit. And then we were long distance for a while.
Did you not have a password on your phone?
No, I did. But then I was...
She got plastic surgery to get your face to open your phone?
No, I thought I was being honest, right? I was like, oh, you can have the password on my phone because I'm not cheating. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
But we had been long distance for the beginning of the relationship. And I wasn't cheating, but I just did some shady things. You know what I'm saying? Just being a shade ball.
Yeah.
So then when she found some shit, I went back and I started I was like, I got to find everything. And I started deleting anything that was ever questionable, anything that an ex had ever messaged me.
Yeah.
And then I happened upon this recently deleted box and it nearly gave me a heart attack. It's fucking crazy.
You're 42 now. You can't just look through the recently deleted box.
That is, it's fucking wild. So I'm just saying, gentlemen, protect yourselves out there. Know that there is a recently deleted text message box and you need to protect yourselves. So I know there's very few men who probably listen to this, but
it's also
I'm just pissing off your female listeners right now.
There are some trans women. Do you see them as men or women?
Yeah, honestly, it depends how drunk I am.
Wait,
but here's what's fucked up. Actually, every female listener now is now going through her man's phone and looking at his recently deleted. I promise you this is going to end some relationships now. I fucked up.
Okay, this is the most toxic thing you can ask someone. What is cheating? Define cheating. That's what you do when you've cheated and you need to buy time in the fight to figure out how to defend yourself. If exes reach out to you, what's shade ball mean?
Being a shade ball is like a chick will fucking be in my inbox.
If you're not on WhatsApp, as far as I'm concerned, you are a chivalrous gentleman.
Oh, I'm not on WhatsApp. I'm not on WhatsApp. I'm not on. What's the one that Snapchat? I've never done any of that stuff.
Yeah, don't do that.
If I'm gonna send somebody a picture of my. Also, I don't want it to be deleted. What's turning me on about it is the fact, like, I have my face in it. I'm like, it turns me on to like feel like I got caught. I'm like, ooh, and then as soon as I send it, I'm like, what the f did I just send? I come, and then I'm like, but now you can unsend text messages.
You can, but it says message has been unsent.
It says message has been unsent, but that's okay.
That's okay. They just know it was unsent.
That's fine.
I don't think I've ever really gotten a dick pic for real. Even though I always ask for them, I send this to AirDrop. Does AirDrop take the titillation out of it?
Can I AirDrop you a dick pic?
For me, I've said this before, I'm obsessed with dick pics because I'm obsessed with inside of men's apartments.
Okay.
Like, I just love to see like a black washcloth that has clearly been there for like 2.5 years. I love seeing like a sliver of Irish Spring soap in the background.
Oh, I'm super manipulative too. Like, I'll jerk off with like facing a clean corner. Like, yeah, no, you have no idea. I'm not going to let you see all the shady shit. I typically don't send dick pics, really, but you know, I'll get caught up in the moment.
Yeah,
being a
why
creep,
not? I'm into it.
I stopped being a cheater just because the anxiety. And I'm in therapy. I've been in therapy for years now at this point. It's the anxiety that you feel. Because for men, we're not, I'm not cheating. It means literally nothing.
Yeah.
When I've cheated on women, it has literally meant that's not true. I make love to these women. I really do. As I'm talking about it, it's like I kiss them. I tell them I really like them. It's actually a problem.
It's like, well, how else are you going to cheat if you don't lie?
I'm acting like I'm just you. No, it's like these women feel very special.
Yeah. I mean, they're still texting you. Like, you did something
true.
right.
Well, so you know what it is? Because I'm ugly. I'm an ugly man. And if a woman sleeps with me, it's because she found something else. Like, she's whatever it is, it's deeper than just the physical, you know?
But, okay, do you think you're ugly?
Do I think... I mean, yeah.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture. Yeah.
No. That's not how you're perceived.
Ugly is... No, maybe not ugly.
You're very attractive to people.
Ma?
No, you're very attractive. This only makes things worse for me to say this.
Yeah.
But your thought of is very hot.
Ooh.
Yeah. Especially if daddy didn't show up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Girls that have daddy issues. I have a lot of girls that are in my inbox right now. Yeah. They send me pictures of their on their arms and legs.
So. I don't know enough about. I just got in so much trouble talking to someone about borderline personality disorder the other day, and people are like, "You're bullying a neurodivergent person," but like, yeah, I know
we're all fucked up.
Yeah,
I mean, I just saw Whitney, the amount of medications on her kitchen counter. I mean, it was a smorgasbord. I've never used that word before, but that's the only way to describe the amount of medications on your counter.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, I take Prozac.
Nice.
To try to wrangle my ADD brain. Do you take anything?
I used to be on Adderall, but there's a video where I tried to beat up Kurt Metzger at the Comedy Store. That was the last time I ever took Adderall.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I don't know who I put money on. You. For sure. What am I saying? What am I saying? I forgot that you're like...
Kurt's a genius. He's a brilliant comic.
I forgot that you're like a black belt.
I would fucking... I'm not a black belt, but I would annihilate him. And he's brilliant. He's a lunatic. But yeah, we got into it one night just talking shit at the Comedy Store.
Oh, this was a real fight.
This is a real fight. Oh, it's on YouTube. You guys can go watch it. It was on Legion of Skanks.
Holy shit. Let's go. Honestly, hold on. This is my kink. This is porn to me. Like my favorite funny comedians trying to fight each other. This is my dream in life.
This is embarrassing. This is an embarrassing thing. Yeah, it's bad. It's embarrassing for me to, just in general. Like, you shouldn't threaten to beat people up because you don't like their words, even if it feels justified. Now, I felt pretty justified here. I'll give you the quick version of the story. What happened, right? Months before this, we were at maybe the Ontario Improv or one of the improvs. It was one of them, right? I was doing my time, and Kurt, in the middle of the room, comes in and starts flashing his cell phone at me. Like this, right? It's in the middle of the room. Now, these are all like...
Autism manifests itself in many ways.
It's just bizarre. The whole thing is bizarre. So I get off stage, and Kurt goes on stage, and I'm assuming he has to, leave. I'm assuming he has to, go to another spot or whatever. That's why he's lighting me early and deciding that my time is being taken away. So he gets off stage. He's like, "Oh, dude, you want to go smoke a joint?" And I was like, "I'm assuming, do you don't have to leave? Why would you take me off of stage? You're not the club. You're not the manager. You're not anybody." It's kind of petty and stupid. But as a young comic, this is literally years ago. But it was just annoying as
This is such an inside baseball thing.
Super
I'm
inside
trying to
baseball.
think about the equivalent in any other job,
If you're in a sales job, let's say you have a sale you're about to close, and then another salesman comes over, steps in, takes over the sale, and says, well, this is now my sale.
wild. I mean, it's like
You would
if
just-
another stripper halfway through your song just cutting the music.
Yes, exactly.
And you're hanging upside down.
In front of everybody.
Correct.
And I'm like, these are Legion of Skanks fans. I'm kind of embarrassed. He's like
totally.
fucking flashing it. Kurt just had absolutely no respect for me. This is what was going on. We all started, like, New York is a weird thing. It's like cliquey as right? So we started, like, Kurt and Jay and these guys, and Nate Bargatze, this was our crew, right? Like, it's so funny. Like, Nate Bargatze's the godfather to my son, actually.
He's the best.
So, like, and we're so, like, polar opposites. Like, we just not fit in with the Legion of Skanks world. But this was, like, our crew. Joe DeRosa, Mike Vecchione. Like, we had a whole crew of people. And when me and, like, Dave Smith started, these are guys that we all really looked up to. But we were straight up open mic comics who were just starting. So Metzger, at this point, kind of had moved away. We started Legion of Skanks. It was pretty popular at this point. But Metzger would still kind of dig at us like we were these, like, young open micers.
Yeah.
And me and Dave were insecure and kind of coming into our own. So we had, like, a chip on our shoulder about it, right? So when he did that, it was like, I took it as a real affront. He was just like, I don't care. I just want to go up. It was nothing to him. It meant nothing to him. So we had words that night. Whatever. That happened. Months later, we're doing this show at the Comedy Store. I see him as I'm coming in, and I don't say hi to him. I was like, I don't even feel like saying anything to him because I was still salty about it. And then when I go inside of the Comedy Store, he starts going off in the parking lot about how he's going to beat my ass. And he said, he texted this to me. He said, I'm going to stab you and leave you fatherless, leave your son fatherless like your father left you. My father was stabbed when I was 4 years old.
So he was flirting.
So he was trying to get me to come. And I did. And
So you guys are dating? It's a weird way to come out.
so it was like and Metzger, he's so brilliant. Like, he knows how to, like, say the things. Like, he knows what to say to get you going. And at that point,
There's a couple people who you couldn't pay me. There's no amount of money that I would switch places and have their inner monologue for an hour. Like he is so brilliant. His mind works so fast.
Yeah.
I'm always just like, are you okay?
he knows what to say to cut. Like, he knows exactly what to say. So he's saying some rancid shit via text message. He's talking shit in the parking lot. I was dating Kim Congdon at the time, and he was dating Annie Letterman at the time. So this all culminated.
Okay, so I mean, you're both, you're trauma bonding.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of trash people all fucking crashing into each other like this fucking crazy, chaotic
You
fucking
both needed
mess.
a break from hardship, so you decided to fight each other physically.
So it ended up with him coming on and us sort of telling this story, and then fucking I just lost it. I threw a drink at him.
As someone that loves their whiskey, to throw it at him.
I really did.
It was the second time Lewis had done that. I let it go the first time, which was at the roast battle.
Oh, did you let it go? You f***ing
Yes,
don't
I
let
did.
shit go. I let you go. Sit down.
How about that? I let you go.
Sit down.
Lewis, sit down, dude.
I already knew that I'm throwing a
Louis,
drink.
you're so scary to me. This is like,
Go, dude.
Do something, bitch. Do something.
I mean,
Wow.
I mean, I am a Puerto Rican.
I was gonna say, here's what I'll say. Like, Kurt is very tall. I
Sit still while I reach your
don't think he would do a good job fighting you.
No.
And now what is he doing? Just checking his cameo requests?
No, I don't know. But yeah, then it all spilled into the street. Kim grabbed Annie's glasses off her head and she fucking threw them. It was a wild.
But Annie was wearing another pair of
night.
sunglasses
Yeah,
under
she
them,
was.
so it's fine. She has a Russian nesting doll of glasses on.
It was a wild night.
Here's what I'll say though. As I sort of see the way some people behave, the way that people are able to talk to other people on Twitter, is there any value in, like, every now and then, I'm not saying it's Kurt, I'm not saying it's any of our friends,
Yeah, of
but
course.
that every now and then, is it okay
To threaten to beat the shit out of somebody?
I'm just saying, you see people
Yeah.
and you're like, all you need is to get punched in the face one time and your personality would be perfect.
So here's the thing. On a logical standpoint, I say no. As somebody who's raising a child for society,
Right.
I go, no, you should never threaten to beat people up.
Right.
And an emotional standpoint, I break that rule 3-4 times a week. I mean, just if an Uber driver makes a wrong turn, it's a whole fucking, it's a whole to do. I have real anger issues that it's something that I'm trying to get ahead of after years and years of therapy. And I'm somewhat self-aware at this point. I watch that and I cringe and I go, that was, that's not who I want to fucking be. That's not who me and Kurt toured together for a year after that. Like we're very close now. He has a podcast on my network.
There's something amazing about when you have something with someone like that, nasty, or you bring out the worst in each other. It kind of bonds you more tightly than if you
I think that we probably wouldn't have been able to get there if we didn't actually care about each other. Like if he was just some stranger, he was somebody that here's the thing. He's somebody who I really looked up to, and he was somebody who wasn't respecting me, and he was somebody who that hurt that this guy that I looked up to. And by the way, and I remember at the time, the night that he flashed his light, I remember he was in the room. I remember being like, oh, I have all this new material. I'm happy that Kurt gets to see that I do this. And instead of him being like, oh, look at Lewis getting funny, he disrespected me. And I took it, it hurt that much more.
Of course.
So that's, I think, where it all came from. Because I think it was just some dude. Maybe I was it wouldn't have been as big of a fucking thing. Of
course.
So yeah, I think that's probably, after reflecting on it, kind
and
of
when
what it was.
someone smart disrespects you on some level, you're like, well, could they be right?
Well, he also says the little things exactly that, So yeah, it was a fucked up night, but that was the last time I ever took Adderall. And after that night, I was like this is fucking I was just walking around like it's a ball of energy always. And I have extreme ADHD.
I finally went to a doctor who didn't try to give me a bunch of stuff to just sedate me. And because I said, I was because I have OCD and I have ADD and I have this. And he goes, is any of this working for you? Aren't you doing pretty well?
Yeah.
In your life, and it no one had even thought that, but I am on the Prozac. The Prozac at least helps me stop the loop.
So is Prozac anti-anxiety?
Okay,
because my therapist was like, you should be on anti-anxiety medication, maybe not ADHD. And then I told her I didn't want to do any medication. And then she was like, well, you smoke weed every morning, you drink every afternoon, and you have sex every night. She was like, you're sort of medicating yourself already. Yeah, honestly, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm a party.
Sorry, I'm fucking sick.
Well, when you put it that way, I am pretty awesome.
Don't fall in love with me. Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. If you have sensitive skin, you're going to want to hear about their scientifically proven topical supplements free from over 1,500 chemicals and preservatives that can make skin red, irritated, itchy, or worse. Their products are safe for sensitive skin and have earned the Skin Safe seal of approval. Look at me putting on this OneSkin. I am obsessed with it. It is founded by an all-woman team of scientists. OneSkin's products are backed by extensive lab and clinical data to validate their efficacy and safety on all skin types. They target cellular senescence. I don't know what this is. I just know that I look 10 years younger than I used to look. It is a key hallmark of aging to keep your skin healthy and hydrated without the harsh ingredients or irritation often found in other skincare products. And it just smells like youth. For a limited time, you can try OneSkin for 15% off using the code Whitney when you check out at oneskin.co. Give your skin the scientifically proven gentle care it deserves with OneSkin. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started today with 15% off using code Whitney at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code Whitney. I actually use this product, which is why I look younger than my baby. Okay, you guys, summer's finally here, and that means more days spent outside, in the park, on the beach, or in the pool. Make sure that you're taking extra care of your hair this summer with Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement. Look at my hair. I look like a lioness from the 80s. I mean, I started taking Nutrafol because a dermatologist recommended it to me before it was even sponsoring our podcast. And look at my hair. I mean, I look amazing, okay? This is the #1 hair growth supplement. It supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting key root causes like stress, hormones, and nutrition. Drug-free ingredients. Nutrafol is tailored to your biology, your lifestyle, ensuring that you see visible thickness and reduced shedding. Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to give your hair what it needs to grow based on your biology, life stage, and lifestyle factors. In clinical studies, 72% of men saw more scalp coverage after taking Nutrafol men's hair growth supplement for 6 months, and 68% of women saw improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol women's hair growth supplement for 6 months. Building a hair growth routine is simple with Nutrafol. Purchase it online, no prescription or doctor's visit required. Free shipping and automated deliveries to ensure that you will never miss a day. You will see results within 3 to 6 months. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code GOOD4YOU. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code GOOD4YOU. I didn't realize that all the lies that I used to tell before I went into a 12-step program, ACA, Al-Anon, I thought I was being nice. Like it was like, you're doing like the wrong thing for the right reasons. You're like,
Right.
I'm 5 minutes away, or I can't make it tonight. I have this thing. And I was why do I feel the need? Like,
I won't even be in the car. I'll be before I get in the shower. I'm 5 minutes away. I'm not even in the shower. It's crazy.
What are you doing?
For no reason.
What in no reason?
I'm just causing a problem later on down the road.
But then sometimes I'm like, no, I'm manifesting. Like, I just want to set a goal for myself. And if I send I'm 10 minutes away, that'll make me rush. Like, it's
You're
also
right.
a way to make myself.
We are very similar. When you're literally speaking my language right now. Because it's funny, Zac Amico, who you know Zac from the roast,
dude,
one of the best roast writers in the world.
The funniest.
He pointed it out because we do a podcast together, Real Ass Podcast, and like he's traveled with me so much. He opens for me on the road, and like he's seen the way that I work, and the way he described it. He was like, because what I want to do is I want to be exactly on time, right? So my goal is if I have to be somewhere at noon, my goal is to walk through the door at 11:59.
Love it.
And that feels like I don't want to be early, even though being early feels great. You know, I recognize when I'm early to the airport and I get to settle in, it's not, but for whatever reason, I leave to where I'm going to be exactly on time. I'm going to walk right on that flight when they're calling group one. Like, let's go, right? But if one thing goes wrong, then my entire day could be fucked up. Like, it's just one wrong turn. Now everything is sort of pushed back. But the way Zac described it, he says that I live my life the way that comedians used to open up their comedy specials. Like they'd walk out, they say goodbye to their doorman, they get in a taxi, they'd walk in, the crowd's over there, they grab
Someone
the microphone.
hands you a water, someone hands you a mic, and you just
Which is such a perfect description.
high-fiving people.
Yeah, that's literally the perfect like day for me. Is like it's just I just go straight through, and I'm almost never on time because I'm trying to just be on time.
That's the number one
it's like
thing.
A satisfying thing.
Because like to me, my primary addiction is adrenaline. And because adrenaline turns into dopamine. And when you learning about epigenetic imprinting really helped me because whatever neurochemical you're making in utero, your baby is going to be addicted to. So, and if you're on drugs, like that's what a crack baby is. If you're doing crack, your baby's going to be addicted to crack. If you're like really stressed out, your mom is really stressed out when they're pregnant with you, you're going to be, so I was born just addicted to adrenaline. Like I was the kid that was like pushing things out, like to just like subconsciously causing drama, right? Because it's just to feed that addiction. Same thing with like one of the first things you do when you're in ACA is you ask, or your sponsor asks you, and now I always ask sponsees, if you need to be somewhere at 4 o'clock and it takes half an hour to get there, what time do you leave?
What time would I really leave? I leave at 3:30 on the dot.
Yeah. So, but then you're not taking into account, you have to go to the bathroom, you run into someone you know, your car breaks down, there's traffic, everyone in LA is on drugs.
Well, in that case, I should leave at 11 a.m. and that's crazy. Yeah, that's a crazy person.
You can leave at 11:15. If you're 10 minutes early, you can sit in your car and check emails.
But I've also set my life up, and as of you, where time starts when I walk in the room most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm the person in charge of the shit that I'm doing.
That's
like
right.
for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's the same way I have a cleaning lady. Yeah. The same way I have an assistant one day a week. These are like checks and balances in my life that I've set up to where I'm not dealing with the anxiety. So most of the time, if I'm running late, I'm not really stressed because I've set myself up where
of course.
If I walk in, that's when the meeting starts, for the most part.
100%.
But that was sort of one of the biggest triggers for me of like anger was like being in New York City. I would get into arguments with Uber drivers all the time. This was like my Uber rating is abysmal. My Uber rating is like, it's fucking crazy. It's nearly impossible to get less than a 4.9 in Uber.
If I was an Uber driver and pulled up and saw you, I'd be like, fuck. I know this is gonna be.
Dude, I had that happen recently. Somebody pulled up and then I was smoking a joint. I watched the Uber driver pull up and I was smoking a joint. They didn't know it was me. They were just waiting for the person to come out of the hotel. And then I hit be right there, just on the thing. And then I watched them cancel it and pull away. Dude, I ran after it like I was Terminator 2. You have no idea. I was the anger that I fucking felt in that moment was crazy. And they just like, they skidded right out.
What do you think that was? Like an abandonment thing or just a...
I have maybe this is where the money thing comes into play. I grew up really poor, like welfare, Section 8. My mom was a drug addict. My dad died when I was a little kid, like, as poor as it comes. And there's something about, and I've worked so hard to get where I'm at now, and I'm not rich by any means. Like I'm not, I'm doing fine. I feel good about myself. I feel good about, where my career's at, which is fine. More power to everybody. But the reality is for me, it didn't come easy. So I feel emotional about money as well. So when I'm spending money, it's just like this thing where it's like, it goes both ways. It's extreme. So if I'm in a restaurant and they give me great service, Like I tip 40%. I'm fun with the staff. I'm always like, I feel like I'm really fun to serve.
Yeah.
I make jokes and I ask for recommendations and I just feel like I'm personal. I think I'm better than the next guy who's just kind of like, grumpily ordering his meal or whatever. Yeah. So I just feel very emotional. So what happens is if I feel disrespected when I'm spending money, I just kind of see red and I'm like, yo, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, do you know how, like, it just feels like I go back to being this little kid who like, I never saw the bigger. I grew up in the suburbs, right? It was suburbs. It wasn't urban or it wasn't like rural, but it was far enough out of New York City, Rockland County, New York, and it was a really poor, shitty part of Rockland County, Haverstraw, New York. And it was like there was no like dreaming happening. There was nobody trying to achieve anything amazing. Like it was a bunch of people like in my family, it was like, dude, if you get a job as a garbage man, like that's a great job. Like you could be a garbage man, you work for the city, you'll retire one day, you'll have a pension.
We're not garbage people.
Yeah, well, I did become a garbage man. I took a lot of influence.
Is that why you never take the trash out? You get so anxious?
I was like, no, I can't do it.
What if I'm too good at it? And he was right.
But like that was sort of like, there was no like, there's no real like just, there was no inspiration, And then I moved to New York City when I was 19 years old, and you move to a place like New York City where everyone just thinks they're the shit. Like the homeless people think they're the best homeless people in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The pigeons are like,
yeah, they really are.
You are like, damn.
There's a swag to New York, and everyone's kind of broke in the beginning, and it's hard to get around. It's like, but you're like, yo, I'm living
something glamorous about that, though.
There's something romantic, maybe that's the word,
right?
Where
that's
you're
the
like,
word.
I have 3 roommates. I don't know where I'm coming up with rent next month, but I'm doing that. I'm fucking. If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
That term, right? There's something about that where you moved to New York City as a kid, and you're like, wow, this is fucking amazing. And New York City changed my life. Comedy changed my life. I got a job selling comedy club tickets for the New York Comedy Club. Al Martin, RIP, he just died. When I was 19 years old, and I got exposed to the New York comedy scene, and I started promoting for comedy clubs.
Who was kind of like big then, like that you would see at night? I mean, I'm sure Attell and Norton and those guys.
Yeah, Attell and Norton, they were like the Cellar guys. So I wasn't really going to the Cellar super early at that time. I was working for the New York Comedy Club, which was kind of a shittier club. It was kind of like roach infested. The guys that were like there every night, like I saw Gaffigan there.
Oh wow,
that was the first person I ever saw annihilate.
Whoa.
Like murder, 100 people in a room. This is during Hot Pockets. Like, this is 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what's this guy? Why is he so pale? That act, like I watched him develop that. He was there almost every week. He was like a fucking killer. Guys like Mike Britt, Mike Yard, those guys are murderers. Like absolute, like those guys, people couldn't follow those guys. Like the best of the best still to this day can't follow those guys. Those guys are killers. That pressure causes you to fucking find real funny, because that's what's relatable to people is you getting your ass kicked in a fight. That's a funny story, right? You bombing on stage. That's a funny story, right? You getting broken up with or getting cheated on. That's hilarious, And I think I just think you get successful enough to you remove yourself, you stop losing.
Yeah.
Once you stop losing, I think where you finding the inspiration from?
100%.
And luckily, I am going to be a loser for the rest of my life.
And also comedy's a coping mechanism. If you have nothing to cope from, you're never going to, people that don't have adversity, you don't need comedy in order to anesthetize yourself. It's like when people are like, when people come after jokes or when people want to like cancel comics for saying certain things, I'm like, I'm so happy for you that you don't need comedy to cope because your life is too easy.
Well, what a privilege!
But there are people that
privileged life that a word offends
is
you.
Traumatic.
Wow, more power to you. God bless your soul.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would love to have a life where a word could affect me. Like a fucking word would trigger me. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Your biggest problem in life is something Tony Hinchcliffe said.
It's such a sign of privilege, and I wish more people would point that out.
Were you in New York when the Gay Pride Parade happened and the brawl broke out? What did this white girl do? I gotta know what this white girl did.
Let's see.
Distressing content.
Oh, this white girl's getting her ass beat. Oh, another lesbian's coming in.
God.
Oh, dude.
Oh, she put on a belt. That was a bad idea.
They have terrible defense. They need to get up, turn around, face your opponent.
What's that? Glass? Oh, someone broke glass on someone?
What is this, Union Square?
Washington Square.
Washington Square.
Like, what's happening? Like, is this just a normal thing at the Gay Pride Parade now?
Also, why wouldn't this girl just be out now? Like, get out of there.
Yeah,
it's not safe.
So what's this? What's happening? You need to electrocute your clit in order. Like, what is going on in New York City?
Yeah, dude, New York is a.
Also, why is everyone acting like they have a channel people want to watch? Like, why is everybody?
Oh, there's another fight. Is this a guy? Are these more lesbians?
I don't know.
These
what's
are, I
happening.
think these are lesbians that look like guys.
I don't know. Oh, Jesus, guys. Like, what's going on? Is this?
Oh,
just...
it's this chick again. She's in it again.
I just feel like this is the new normal in America. I feel like this is going to keep happening. Because election year, is that what's going on?
Election years get people crazy.
Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, if Trump wins, just get ready for another 4 years.
He's
of people
going to win.
coming
What are we
after
doing?
comedians.
What are we doing?
I don't think that they're going to let him win. I think
Who's
that,
they? Which non-binary?
Person. They. You know what I mean, Whitney.
But like, he's going to win. There's no, it's over.
I mean, I'm just saying that. Look, and I don't pay attention to politics at all. So this is like my very outside perspective. I really try to keep myself as willfully ignorant as possible when it comes to politics, because I got to be honest with you, I don't feel like we'll ever know more than 1% of what's really going on. I think we're going at each other like we're on these real teams. There's no teams here, guys. They're all fucking criminals. They're all murderers. They will fucking kill babies in small countries. Every single president for the past however many fucking was willing to murder children in fucking other countries for whatever fucking cause, right?
Isn't it we kind of at the point where like we need someone that other countries are scared of? Like,
I think we need somebody like, we need a great manager for a restaurant. Right?
Is this not exactly what I say?
Yeah.
My thing is it should be an appointed office, the best run Costco in America.
Yeah.
One day you show up.
Who go get a fucking guy who brought some company, into fucking from
that's it.
Deficit to massive profits, and just understands how to manage this. Also understands whatever what Trump did, which I don't like, is he normalized the just divisiveness. And I didn't give a fuck at all about politics. I don't give a fuck who you vote for. I don't give a fuck what your religion is. I don't give a fuck. Just, let me live my life, you live your life, and that's that. We all just do what we got to do. I like, it really means absolutely nothing to me. And it created this whole divisive thing. And maybe it was Trump, maybe it was the people in response to Trump, whatever it is, right? Yeah. But it created this really massive divide where I have people that I considered friends that won't even speak to me anymore because they consider me a Trumper. I haven't voted since 2000. I voted for Al Gore. I'm the least political person you will ever meet in your entire life. But everything became so politicized during Trump's, when he was in office, that comedians, comedy festivals, podcast networks, it was, you had to be right or left. Yeah. And if you're not left, you're definitely right. So they put me and a lot of my friends into that category. You saw what happened with Shane Gillis. That article came out. Tony was in the article. We were in the article. Legion of Skanks was in the article. And it's like, you're politicizing guys that don't give a fuck about politics at all. And I think that, if Trump gets in office again, I think we're going to sort of deal with that same sort of pushback because people on the left, they feel like they need the win. And if Trump's in office, people on the left, they feel like the sky is falling.
So they come for us.
They come for us because that's where they can get the win. They can get us to apologize. They can get us to worry about our tours. They can get us to worry about losing podcast advertisers or whatever. They can't really get to the people they really want to get to.
Whoa.
So, but I think they apparently they stole the election when he was in office, right?
That happened with Bush and Gore. Like, that's always happened.
Right. Who knows who really wins?
Imagine elections 100 years ago, 150 years ago, when the people running were counting the pieces of paper. Like, what are we doing?
Who knows who really won any of these elections, right? But the point is, if they could steal it from him when he's sitting in office, when he's in control of the government, it's all of his people that are appointed, and they can still make it so that he doesn't win it. Why wouldn't they do it when he's a felon?
I mean, I'm just curious what's going to happen because I do hear people and they're like, I'm always the person that, and sorry if it's annoying, I'm always like, we've been here, it's been worse. Like when people are like, we're just more divided than ever. It's like, well, there was the Civil War. Yeah. I feel like we were pretty divided back then.
We were, but I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. We were definitely in a literal way more divided, right? But you didn't have it like we have this now, and we are constantly reminded, right? Constantly reminded. If I open my phone, I'm constantly reminded of how divided we are. Yeah. I'm constantly seeing, if I just scroll for a moment in ADHD, we're scrolling like right? I'm constantly living in it. And we're sort of building a society of people that are addicted to their phones. This, at this point, has taken over what is most people's real life. They spend more time looking into this window than they do communicating with real people in real life. That's, I would say, 99% of young people, right?
Right.
And it's kind of when you forget your phone, or when you go on an airplane and it dies or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. Isn't it nice? Like you go to the supermarket, you forgot your phone, you're like, dude, I'm just like talking to this person. This person, I don't know what their political beliefs are.
It like feels like you're on drugs.
Yeah, it's
when
the
you
best.
don't have your phone, you're just like present and you're like in the moment. Everything looks so bright and colorful.
I was on a cruise a few years ago, and the Wi-Fi went out on the boat. But we were at sea for like 4 days. Nobody had phones. It was the best.
That's wild.
It was awesome. Everybody was just talking to each other, communicating. Nobody was fucking sitting there on their phone trying to post things. It was just everybody partying together. It was really, really cool.
Now time to talk about Nurex. Now, I would like to first just chastise Pat for mansplaining me at every turn, except when it comes to the name of this company. We've been calling it Nurx because Pat thinks it's funny.
I think it's awesome.
It's Nurex. Why would this ever be called Nurx?
That is a marketing suggestion.
We literally they were like, it's called Nurex, you guys. I'm like, yeah, Pat, I'm sure I called it Nurex. And Pat was like, no, it's Nurx, dude. We love Nurex over here. Taking control of your reproductive health starts here. Nurex is a digital healthcare platform that makes it easy to get the expert healthcare you deserve at every step of your journey. With over 50 birth control formulas available, I used none of them, obviously, but I'm back in the saddle thanks to Nurex because it provides personalized treatment and care for reproductive and sexual health, making it easy to find the best option for your needs. Skip the in-person appointment. In-person appointments are over. I mean, that's how people get pregnant in the first place, being in person. All you got to do is complete a medical consultation anytime, day or night. Nurex provider that is licensed in your state will review your health history and, if medically appropriate, prescribe a birth control to you. Nurex helps women take back their autonomy with fast and affordable care. Nurex accepts many major insurances to help cut down on the out-of-pocket costs and delivers your prescription straight to your door in discreet packaging. Nurex helps women be their own best advocates with access to 24/7 care and support. You'll have the freedom to ask questions and get answers when you need it the most. Go to Nurex, N-U-R-X, not to be confused with Nurx, Pat's side hustle. Nurex.com/Whitney to get started. That's Nurx.com/Whitney. Results may vary. Not offered in every state. Medications prescribed only if clinically appropriate. Consultation required. Oh, do you mind if we do a quick IG Live?
Please.
As you guys know, I have this thing where when people come on my podcast, we mostly talk about our like psychological. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how I became like the person we just sort of like rapped about our
Molestation.
Yep. I was a pretty cute kid, guys. But I want to make sure that I ask him questions that you actually want to know the answer to. So, okay, why are you always in Jamaica, Lewis?
Why am I always in Jamaica?
I actually had that question. When you were on the roast, that was one of our questions. Like, Louis J. Gomez, of all the things you guys think are shady about him, why is he always in Jamaica?
Yeah.
I just remembered that.
I loved you. I went to Jamaica for the first time when I was 22 years old. It was
So
the first
pretty.
beautiful place that I had ever been in my entire life.
Someone just wrote, he looks uncomfortable.
No, I'm very comfortable. It's been a great podcast so far. But it was just, I just have it's like nostalgia for me. Like I also am a big pothead. I just like the culture. The music was great. It's just, I've been everywhere. I go to other places too.
Half Moon Bay is so gorgeous in Jamaica. Is that where you go, or Negril? What is it?
I've been really everywhere. I usually stay in Ocho Rios. We'll rent like a villa and get a private chef.
I think this is our problem here, is that we already talk about our like money trauma. Like we both grow up with that money. You can't take girls you like on vacation because you're going to measure their behavior based on how much you're spending on the room. That's where you've said that you've like gotten a couple fights on vacations with girls or something. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think that
I've never gone through a vacation without it. Like we're great, but like I just paid $8 for water, and you're gonna say that?
Yeah.
And I do dollar singular. That was my racist Asian impression.
I've taken almost every girl I've ever dated to Jamaica. It's sort of an ongoing thing. It's like the kiss of death in my relationships. So I have to probably just
we went to
stop doing
Jamaica.
it.
Yeah, it's just a metaphor at this point.
But I think I'm pretty sure a Category 5 hurricane has destroyed the entire island now. So I don't think I'll be going back for a while.
Have you passed the kidney stone yet? Did you have a kidney stone?
So you can probably pull this up. If Whitney hasn't seen this, that's actually interesting that Whitney hasn't seen this.
Why?
Just look up
I just
Louis
gave
Gomez Kill Tony on YouTube Shorts.
I just gave birth. You're not going to get a lot of sympathy from me right now in terms of passing something through a hole.
If you want to pull it up on YouTube, if you look up YouTube.
Okay, so you look that up while I ask you. Okay, I know my tits are out today, you guys. It's the 4th of July.
It's great, folks.
I'm wearing it's the only time I can say tard is when I wear unitard. I don't know. When you look at, yeah, I know, guys. This is fashion brand company. It's this company in New York that makes like just really weird.
Whitney's wearing a borderline inappropriate outfit. You can see everything. Camel toe, straight up the butt, big old titties. It's fucking tight. I'm telling you right now, folks.
Okay, so this is your kidney stone?
Yeah, I was on Kill Tony, and this guy, here, you can play
I
it.
actually brought it with me because they gave it to me.
You brought the stone with you? Oh.
This is the actual stone.
Oh my God, let's see that.
No.
Let me see that, Louis.
It's never been open.
Don't, Louis, no.
Put that away. Fuck, dude. I never opened.
No.
Look at Sal Vulcano's face. He's a major like hypochondriac, germaphobe. Sal's losing his mind right now. So they were wondering if I passed that guy's kidney stone.
What I did learn here today is that Louis is probably amazing at eating pussy, and you know it. Guys that do wild shit like that's all I see.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Cosby at Skankfest? You guys are wild.
You know, in a weird way, I would. Is he a genuine? Yeah.
Genuine?
But he's an old man. I mean, he's not anybody now. We'll keep our eye on him.
I mean, look, but here's what you could...
It'll be such a story, dude. Cosby at Skankfest.
We'll keep our eye on
We
him.
will.
Here's what I would say. Is there a version where all these predators, we use them to raise money, all the tickets that you charge for people to come see them, you donate it to... I don't know, the Girl Boss Foundation?
Girl Boss?
I don't know.
Something?
I don't know.
I
Just
don't know
give
any...
it to, I don't know, Rose McGowan. I don't know how we redistribute it. But like, why not, if these guys did these horrible things, like, I'm always curious, why don't we take Harvey Weinstein and Brett Ratner and Kevin Spacey and all these people that got canceled and make them make a super movie?
Right.
And then all the proceeds can go to, you know, Reese Witherspoon or whoever.
I love that idea. It's great.
Like, you know.
So we get to still experience their greatness. These gals get to get a little cashola. Cash is
Chicks,
king.
if you will.
There we go.
You know, but so if you had Cosby on it, maybe it would just be the half of the proceeds have to go to...
Oh, look, I'm just telling you right now, if Bill Cosby wanted to do Skankfest, we would book him. And I don't know what you want me to say, okay? I'd love to tell you that we wouldn't, but if
He's
he came to
Barnum and
us...
Bailey. I mean, the show must go on.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I wouldn't book Bill Cosby for Skankfest if you wanted to come to Skankfest, okay?
I mean, my bigger thing is not that this would be wrong, whatever, is that someone would try to fight him.
Somebody try to beat him up
Don't
at
you think?
Skankfest?
Don't you think?
Maybe I high-five him too hard. And also, like, you know, really, before 1970... who wasn't a pedophile?
No,
I mean, what are we saying here?
I have
All
a
these
theory
guys...
that like consensual sex started like 15 years ago.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, this is like a very recent phenomenon.
I used to be one of these guys, be like, dude, culture's not real. That's not a real thing.
Is that the impression of yourself?
That was my impression. Yeah, back then, I was a real fool. I've had to apologize to a few different mentally handicapped families or the families of mentally handicapped children, because we'd watch it on the internet. It would be like a retarded kid, you know, getting a football, throwing the winning pass at a football game, and we'd make fun of the video, right? Not realizing that there's a real kid with a real family on the other end of that, right? And it would get back to them and they'd be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, you piece of shit? And I felt horrible. Like I had one family I still talk to this day every Christmas. The mom calls me because we had a great conversation. Like, you know, I apologized to the girls. Like, we didn't know there was like a dance team they were just mentally handicapped, and they made the Special Olympics, and me, Jay, and Dave were fucking making fun of them and ranking who we think's the hottest. We're just being idiots. Like, this is 10 years ago. We didn't think there was ever going to be a family that would be affected by it. And yeah, you just don't realize, like, you know, there is other people that are really out there, and it does genuinely affect them. So I'm a lot more conscious of the shit that I say and do now. It's not, we still do fucked up shit, but we sort of have a do not make fun of retarded children rule on the show, which is really nice at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I told you I'm a nice guy, yeah.
But also, I signed up to make people's day. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted. I want to make people laugh, make them feel, whatever that looked like. And sometimes I don't get to decide if I make them laugh. That's my goal.
Yeah.
If you get a hit of self-righteous indignation, it makes you feel good to go, you're a stupid, and then you go like, if that makes you happy, good.
Yeah.
I made
you
your day.
technically did your job.
I did my job.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
by being whatever punching bag you needed. Like, I think it's arrogant to be like, everyone needs to think I'm funny and cool. Like, of course most people are not going to think that. And if
Yeah.
you hate me and you get like a hit of like, you know, like that like judgment high from saying someone's dumb or not funny and you feel good about yourself, like, because you just did that, like, great. I like
Yeah.
served my purpose today.
But it is very weird. There are people that like troll me every day. Very interesting. I started muting people just recently. And you go like, all right, I'm just going to assume that that person will think that they're muted because I haven't responded to anything that they've said in a year.
Right.
They will just keep coming every
wild.
day. You're like, this is crazy. And then they'll like, they'll tweet at you and then they'll tweet at like Elon Musk. You're like, what is happening with you? What is happening in your life that you're like reaching out to all of these people to tell them that you hate them? And that's the thing that you're doing with your day. It's kind of crazy. It's a crazy psychological thing.
That's why, like, you can really just have pity at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. I troll sometimes. We're all guilty of being trolls to a certain degree, but it is a special type of crazy person who does it every day to no response. I'm not even saying like, don't even stop. Keep doing it.
Isn't that someone that's just going like, I need to be legitimized, or I want, like, your attention's gonna be clout?
I wish they should do a documentary
Or
on troll
baiting
culture.
you?
There should be some sort of like where you really get into the psyche of a troll.
What if they have like severe OCD or something? Like, I'm sorry that I go into like hurt people, or like, because what kind of addiction do you have that you keep doing that?
I'm sure it has to be some
Is it
sort of like,
Tourette's? Because what is the physical manifestation if you take the internet out of it? Just being like, Lewis, like that's.
well, they don't do that. What's funny is at Skankfest, you'll see it. There's thousands of people there, and a lot of them are internet trolls. Because I meet them sometimes, and then I'll find out who they are. They'll say their name from the chat, and I'll be like, "Oh, you hate me every fucking day."
Yeah.
And then I think that honestly, it's a different way to just get attention from the people that they love.
Yeah.
So it's
interesting.
Like, it's just like they
think they're being funny, and like that's the other thing is like we're comics and we
get
talk
sensitive
shit
as well, right? So sometimes we'll be like, yeah, dude, fuck you, I hope you die or whatever. And they think they're doing what we do.
Yep. They're
Because
heckling.
we talk shit
Yep.
or we're busting balls or whatever it is, and we read it in a certain way, and we do get sensitive to it. And I've just tried to, as I've gotten older, I just try to not really give a shit as much.
Ooh, okay. Off the top of Lewis's head, who's the most justified man hitting a woman in the world? He'll get it.
Yeah, so we do a segment called Who's Most Justified Hitting a Woman on Legion of Skanks. And what the segment is we show 3 videos of a man hitting a woman.
Right.
And we have to figure out who is the most justified. Not saying that any of them are justified.
Right. The most.
Maybe
of them
all of them are, maybe none of them are. Okay, we don't know until we watch the videos.
Right,
But
right.
there is definitely a most justified in all of them. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's ever. I've never laid my hands on a woman in my life. I've been hit by every girl that I've ever dated. Every one of them. And I goad them. Have you ever hit a man? You've hit a man, Whitney.
I haven't hit a man, but I did throw a piggy bank at a man's head and a wine bottle, and neither of them broke, and it like totally dissipated the argument because we were both so shocked that they didn't break. Like, because when you see it in a movie, like I think I was doing it for like dramatic effect, and it was just like, that was weird. Like I can't,
Yeah, no,
I've not hit a man, I don't think.
Because I like having that power. I like making a woman hit me, and then I get to go, "You hit me."
I don't.
How dare I would never do something like that. And so I'll get right in her face, I'll get her going, I'll put my chin out, like yeah. That's the baby.
I'm gonna go be a mom. Thank you for letting me keep you for so long.
It was fun. I had a blast.
What a blast. And you're touring. Tell me everything.
I'm touring everywhere. Go to lewisofskanks.com. Luis, Luis of skanks.com. It's called the Meaty Ogre Tour. Coming to a city near you. I'm going everywhere. When does this come out?
Probably next week.
Okay. Yes, I'll be in Texas next week. I'll be in Dallas,
Sick.
Fort Worth. I got Lafayette, Louisiana coming up. New Orleans coming up. A bunch of stuff. So yeah, just go to lewisofskanks.com. I'm touring all through the end of the year. Going to film a new special sometime next year. And
Sick.
That's it.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you,
I
Whitney.
want to ask you about how you run your business and all that kind of stuff. We'll do it next time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll
be
drag you back.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
You're the best.
I end these very awkwardly. Thank you, Lewis. Happy 4th of July, whatever.
Yeah,
Don't ride
happy
elephants.
America.
Goodbye.